Sim Update 10 is now live. If you don't plan on signing up to this beta and you want to know what the next update has in store for you, stick around as we break down all the highlights of Sim Update 10, as this is a big one. So let's jump into the video. Sim Update 10 has now gone live. Well, that's if you want to be part of the testing program. Version 1.27.9.0 is now available for both PC and Xbox virtual pilots. Joining every beta comes with its own risk. It's a testing version after all. So if you don't want to risk your somewhat stable sim platform at the moment and you want to know what all the fuss is about with Sim Update 10, we have broken down all the highlights and we'll discuss it in this video. If that sounds good to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that way we can let you know when our next flight sim content that we create each and every week goes live. Taking a look at the main features when it comes to Sim Update 10, the NVIDIA DLSS is now available for the sim. The sim uses DLSS as an anti-alias and upscaling option for the PC. If you're not sure what DLSS is or actually does, it uses NVIDIA's AI to make a lower resolution look a high resolution. As an example, it would typically make a 1440p look like a 4K. Well, that's in theory. DX12 that was implemented in the sim a little while ago as an option has various improvements around stability, performance and memory. The Asobo team is still currently working on this and we'll see more updates come in the future as more sim updates come down the line, but there also is a few bugs when it comes to VR, so keep that in mind with this version of the DX12. The next feature that has been anticipated for a long time and many thought expected it to be in the sim on day one, and it's somewhat not a full version of it but a bit more of an experimental version on it, and you can now add secondary windows left and right side of your main window. This will basically enlarge your field of view when using multiplayer screens. This option is available through the experimental option in the sim, which is a new part of the UI menu for this sort of thing, and I guess they're going to grab some information as they go along and hopefully improve this feature, but it is the start of multiplayer screens for the simulator. A new cloud layer has been implemented with Sim Update 10. This was done to provide more vertical precision at low altitudes to better reflect clouds close to the ground. Boat traffic in the sim have had some updates as well. Basically, boats moving now have a wake effect working behind them. This is only available for moving boats and not for static boats. The G1000 NXi is now available for the default G1000 in the simulator. You don't need to download the working title G1000 anymore. This has now been moved as a default feature for the sim, and it's about time, and great work to the working title team for making this happen and contributing to a better G1000. Another small update, but I thought it was worth considering and mentioning, which is key mapping for nameplates. Taxi and navigation ribbons is now available. The nameplate is a great option, and let's hopefully they implement customization options down the line for different styles and different views of nameplates, but it's good to see that they've added key mapping so you can turn it on and turn it off when coming to landing. It helps when you're doing multiplayer or when there's a lot of traffic around. A low power mode is now available for PC users again. This one is found via the experimental option in the sim that was released with this sim update. This option changes the background hanger images and replaces them with a blurred image instead, which will reduce the amount of the PC resources while in the menu of the sim. A couple of other power consumptions features have been included. One of those is one such as a VSync frame rate has been limited to 20 frames per second when you're got the screen minimized, and reduced while further using the download launcher. The premium aircraft are now available to be modded, such as the 787 or the Cirrus SR22. Hopefully we won't see any developers charging for products when they're using default premium cockpits and slapping very poorly made 3D exteriors on it. Now this is being unlocked. A new community spotlight event has been included, which we normally see with different sim updates. This one is featuring the Cessna citation at I think it's called Interweb International Airport. This challenge requires you to use an ILS landing due to weather, which is different than what we've seen from other spotlight events, but this one hasn't been included in this update. One of the biggest additions Xbox console users were waiting for, which is the YSAM support for Xbox. In the patch notes, this hasn't been included in this build, unfortunately. unfortunately. At this stage, we're not sure if this won't make Sim Update 10 or it's not included in the first build as part of the beta. So we're crossing fingers we will see this included in Sim Update 10. Replay mode has found itself in an option of the experimental menu, but I could not find any patch notes on this. Hopefully this is the first stage of progressing replay into the main part of the sim, and hopefully down the line we see more features of the replay menu being included in this, but it's good to see. Apex Gaming PCs and the Oz Flight Simmer channel have partnered up to create a range of gaming flight simmer PCs tailored to flight simulation pilots in mind. The private pilot and the commercial pilot range has been designed to provide a great frame rates if you are on a budget or if you're an experienced simmer and want to take your simming to the next level. You can even customize to suit your virtual pilot needs. Links in the description below if you want to check out the new range of Oz Flight Simmer PCs, the private pilot and the commercial pilot. With each sim update we see a bunch of fixes. Sim Update 10 is no exception to this, with a quite lengthy release notes for fixes. So let's explore some of the main fixes and the ones that I think is important and worth discussing about. Some of the stability updates are worth talking about is several causes to the sim for crash the desktop have been addressed and fixed. Ongoing performance optimization, including fixes for a bunch of memory leaks, have been addressed. Also, a new essential package update for Xbox. This is to help reduce crashes and updates that will occur during the boot process, and also fixed performance issues that is caused by lights on some third-party aircraft over a long period of time when flying in sim. Sim Update 10 comes with a bunch of weather improvements and enhancements, and the first one is wind gusts have now been added to live weather. The data pipeline between live weather and media blue to the sim now includes real weather sim gusts, which is great to see. The next one has been spoken about for a long time, maybe 12 months now, and it's finally been added into the sim, which is they've added interpolation of the metadata when getting away from metadata areas, which is really cool to see. Refinements of turbulence drafts have been tweaked for a number of different percentages. Too much to talk about in this update, but they have been redefined for the sim, which is great news. Another area worth mentioning with this Sim Update 10, which is the VFR map. It's had a lot of life improvements in a Sim Update, with the ability now to click on nav aids and airports to pull up nav aid and airport data. This will basically open a new window pane that will include data for NDBs, VORs, intersections, airport identity codes, location, runway surface types, and the length of the runway with the available comms and ILS frequencies. It will even have the metadata. Well done, Asobo. This is great work. We should have had this in day one in my opinion, but it's great to see that the VFR map has had a lot of work and some life improvements. Thank you very much. Moving on to aircraft, we've seen a long list of improvements have been included in this sim update for general aircraft. This list is too long to go through, and not really, I haven't seen anything that is jumping out in the patch notes that say wow. With this, we'll leave a link in the description if you want to go and check out the full length of a general aircraft, or even anything to do in the patch notes. The link will be in the description below. Other than that, general aircraft fixes, most of the default aircraft have seen their own individual fixes, but the Cessna 172 G1000 and the Airbus A320 would have been the aircraft that have had the longest list of updates to them. When it comes to VR on Sim Update 10, we've seen a couple of features worth mentioning. The first one is a depth reprojection option has now been added, which is able to obtain a smoother experience when it comes to VR. They've also added a scaler for a perception option for world scale. This has been added in VR graphics settings section as well. And when it comes to a UI side of things, a general debug of the marketplace is being included in Sim Update 10, and also, which we have spoken about early in this video, the experimental tab, which features the new experimental features that you can turn on and off to check if they're going to work for your sim or if they're going to work for your PC, which has been included in Sim Update 10. August the 23rd is the planned release date for the public for Sim Update 10. With the flighting of the beta being so early, hopefully this gives the team over at Sober time to build and redefine a stable platform before it goes live to the general public. We will keep you updated each and every week during our weekly Microsoft Flight Simulator news videos. So if that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way we can let you know when those videos go live and keep you updated. Stick around for more Flight Simulator content here. We'll leave you with one of our other favorite videos, and we'll see you over there.